Okay, hierdie is die player profiles van die Springbok vrouens en hulle doen eers vir Libbie.
And they, of course, I wanted to be one of the boys and play with the boys. So it started at a very young age, but I think the most significant event for me was when I was in high school, and we had a sports teacher who played into touch rugby, and he introduced me to the sport, and I thought, okay, well, seeing that there's no real rugby for ladies, touch is the next best thing. And then as soon as I discovered that there is women's rugby, the world completely changed for me.
How difficult was that though, playing a sport that you love, that you can't really flourish in as a young girl?
Look, it was tough. I mean, I always did have that in the back of my mind, knowing that, yes, I'm going to be playing sport no matter how where it takes me. It's always going to be in the back. But I did move my focus a little bit more to the academics, just to make sure that I have that backup. But it was definitely a sweet surprise when I discovered that there is actually a future for women's rugby.
How did you get into the professional side of the 15s game?
So it started at Tux. I played sevens for a very long time, and even there I knew, it still wasn't a career option really. It was just a nice to have. I get to be fit, get to be active, get to travel the world with my friends playing rugby a little bit casually on the side. I wasn't ever considering playing the 15s game. It was never ever crossed my mind. It wasn't an option for me until COVID hit, and I think that was sort of where I changed my mind. After COVID, there wasn't a lot of sevens happening. There wasn't any rugby happening. I thought, let me give it a try. Who knows? Maybe I like it. And we actually had game, considering that we've never really done it. And looking back now at that first game that I've had and where I am now, it's like a huge difference, especially knowledge-wise. I mean, sevens and 15s is completely different games.
Yeah. So the skills match is not quite the same. How much work have you had to put in personally, off of the time that you're spending with the team, in order to become a solid 10?
So my friends at home and my colleagues at home know I've put in a lot of extra work, especially with my kicking. I only started kicking off of a tee last year when we started with this 15s journey. So I only just started doing that, and that was actually the biggest challenge for me. Not only kicking from a tee, but kicking out of hand, because in sevens we don't really kick out of hand either. So that was something that I had to work on, and I do have good leg strength, so I know I can kick the ball further.
Who are your favorite fly halves to watch?
It might be a little bit cliche, but definitely Mornay Steyn. I mean, when I was a young girl, he's been playing for so long. So I've been able to watch him since I was young up to now, and just like his composure that he has in the field, especially when he's kicking to poles, it's something that I want to sort of bring into my game as well, because he never looks flustered, he never looks like he's panicking, he just looks like he's going with the flow, having a good time. So it's definitely something that I would like to bring into my game.
Tell me about your time with the Blue Bulls women's side. Now you move from this 7 space into a professional 15s setup. What has that been like for you?
Look, it was something completely different. It's something I had to get used to. There's a lot more players involved as compared to with the sevens when you're traveling as 12 girls. So it's quite the relationships are quite closer. So you have to actually make a little bit of effort to get to know everyone in the group. But it's definitely been such a great experience. I mean, looking at the dynamics between our forwards and our backs there, and how we meet together and put on the show that we put on, it's really amazing. And with our coaches that we have this year, they're really out there for us to showcase our best talents.
What is the difference then in the relationship dynamic from a franchise point of view and then national team point of view? Because you don't see each other often, or as often, in the national team either.
Yeah, so it's very interesting when we're playing, for example, playing against the Sharks, and you see your teammates in the other team, and having to make that mind shift of, okay, now those aren't my teammates, now it's the opponent, and we're out there to smash them. But I think that's what makes the sport so wonderful, is that we can smash each other one day, and then the next day we're coming to camp and we're all besties and getting along great. So there's definitely a huge shift there. Also in the professionalism of the ladies, of course, when we're in the Springbok setup, it's at a much higher standard than back home with the provincial levels. And also what we get from the unions is not always what we'd expect or what we need. But there's definitely some silver linings coming.
Let's talk a bit about your debut. Do you remember your first match for the Springbok women's side?
I remember it was a nice warm day in Stellenbosch. Played against Kenya, and I came off the bench with a beautiful blue headband on my head because I'd just gotten stitches the week leading up to the game on my head. So just thankful the doctor didn't shave my hair, to be honest with you. But it was great. I was definitely nervous putting on the jersey for the first time. But as soon as I walked onto the field, I had that feeling of this is where I'm supposed to be.
How important was it to have those around you and supporting you in your walk in the sport?
You know what I must say, my mom and my aunt showed me that women are so strong. I mean, through everything that life threw at them and threw at me, we rise above it. And irregardless of how difficult times were, yes, there were times when it was really tough, and we had to sort of come together to figure things out, you know, get through things. So it's definitely, they are my role models. They're my role models, and they, like I said, they've shown me how strong a woman can be. I do think women are stronger than men. That's why the ladies are playing rugby now.
Yeah. If someone walked into a room and asked, why should I watch women's rugby? What would you tell them?
Well, it is the fastest growing sport in the world at the moment. Secondly, I do believe the women play a little bit more a smarter game because not all women want to smash and bash into a wall the whole time. So yes, we do have that. We do have the physicality that the men's game have, but I think there's a little bit more strategic thinking that goes into the ladies' game as well.
Libbie!
Like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more. Libbie out.